And welcome to the very first episode of Inside Goodyear, the podcast where we're taking you behind the scenes of everything going on in one of the country's fastest growing cities. From the city of Goodyear, I'm Jordan Bird.
And hey everyone, I'm Tammy Vo. It's so good to be here, and it feels so different, Jordan, being here, because it was usually just audio only podcast, but we've changed things just a little bit.
Yeah, what are you saying? The 5 cameras and the lights, a little bit different feel than what we're normally used to?
Is it, guys? No, not at all.
No, well, this whole podcast and this episode, as we're about to dive into, it's all about providing a behind the scenes look at some of the amazing things that make Goodyear so unique and so special. And we have 2 gentlemen here today that are representing an event that I think kind of encapsulates that, of going behind the scenes, something unique, something exciting in the city. And we have David and Toby, the organizers, the event organizers of the Goodyear Oktoberfest. Now, for a lot of people out there, they may not have even known that Goodyear had an Oktoberfest. It's been on hiatus a little bit, but this is one of the most authentic Oktoberfest that you can probably experience stateside, right?
That is true. This is exactly what we're trying to achieve here. Oktoberfest started in 1990 as a very, very small squadron event, actually. And it has grown until we stopped in 2019 due to COVID. But we try to make it as authentic as possible, yes.
So let's just start broadly. For anyone who may not be accustomed to what Oktoberfest is, maybe David, what is Oktoberfest at its most basic level?
Yeah, so it's the biggest Volksfest in the world that takes place in Munich every year at the end of September. And, people from all over the world travel to Munich for that reason. And there's, of course, also an event for the local community where the biggest breweries of Germany and Munich and the surrounding areas they operate tents where people get together, and there's live music, there's big entertainment, and it's
dancing, right?
A lot of dancing.
Yes.
Dancing on the tables.
Do you 2 dance?
Well, we
after 2 beers, yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably depends on how many you've had.
We should say one beer at the Oktoberfest is, of course, the size of one of these mugs, which is 1 liter, which is in ounces, that maybe 33, 34 ounces, right? Something like that. So after you've had 2 of those, there's definitely a good reason to dance on the table. So when we organized the tables for this year's Oktoberfest, we made sure they're sort of extra sturdy.
You gotta have some space.
You get on the table?
And people tend to go onto the table and dance. I mean, everybody's really relaxed, and I mean, it's again the biggest Volksfest in the world. So and especially very popular with Americans traveling to Germany and to Munich for that reason.
How does an event that is so ingrained in the culture of Germany?
Yeah.
How does it make it way? I think you said 1990 was the first Goodyear Oktoberfest. Yes. How does it go from Germany to the Phoenix Goodyear Airport here in Goodyear, Arizona?
So, yeah, that's a very good question. So I think it is like in the tradition of every German to have an Oktoberfest. So when you are in a foreign country and the German training squadrons here at the Goodyear Airport together with Lufthansa and United Aviate, and I think that the training squadron just thought about having an Oktoberfest because it's so deep in our DNA to have an Oktoberfest. And they started very, very small with approximately 50 people, just family and friends. And from this point on, it just grew because people tend to like the Oktoberfest.
They tend to. And it's interesting that you talk about some of that history with the aviation and German aviation. Can you talk more about that? Because I think that's fascinating that this isn't just about an Oktoberfest and an opportunity to have fun and entertainment. I mean, there's a history there that's really special.
So on the civil side of the training, the Lufthansa, Germany's major airline, and Lufthansa Group is actually the world's 4th largest airline, right behind the 3 large American airlines. We've been training here in Arizona since the early 70s. So you could say that almost all Lufthansa pilots at some point were trained here at the Goodyear Airport. Wow. And so they all know this place really well, and so thousands of pilots over the decades have been trained here with Lufthansa as well as the German Air Force. And Toby is right. Wherever there are a bunch of Germans, there tends to be an Oktoberfest. That's just something we tend to like to do, And at some point, I think we grew to a level where we wanted to also organize it for the community, right? So, I mean, because initially you would organize it for maybe your training squadron, you include the Lufthansa students, they're all German, of course, so you stay within the German community. But I think a long time ago already, we decided to make it accessible and available for the community here in the valley, and that's what it is nowadays. And yeah.
What is it about Arizona or Goodyear in particular that makes it good for aviation training? Is it just the open space? I mean, is that as basic as it comes down to?
You have tons of flying training here in Arizona. I think there's so many different flight schools in Arizona. It is the weather. What's that, like 220 days of sun during the year or something? So yeah, it is the weather, the wide open space, and so this is just the best training environment that you can actually have, especially for initial flight training, which Lufthansa and the German Air Force actually do here in the valley.
And so now you've opened up the celebration to the Goodyear community and surrounding areas. And someone in our office used to go to the old celebrations and said, "Oh my goodness, it's coming back!" I mean, so excited.
The stories are legendary from her of what these events have been like in the past.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Yes.
So obviously COVID prevented it from continuing to go on.
That's correct.
But we're now 5 years or so removed. Why was it this year was the decision made, hey, we're going to bring it back now?
I think David came up with that idea.
I thought you came up with the idea.
You guys are so generous to one another. Yeah. When it's all said and done, Tammy and it was our decision to bring it back.
It was.
Yeah.
Well, and we should mention that they did make a very special trip to Germany recently to, should we say, taste test the products to bring back to Goodyear. So you tasted the beer, right?
We did. We just came back from Germany. David came back last night. I came back this morning, and we were in Weihenstephan, actually, where the huge brewery is. We did get a private tour by Marcus, who's going to be here. He's the VP of export for Weihenstephan, amazing guy. And we tasted the beer, and it tastes great. So
great, all right.
Thumbs up.
And the brewery is 10 minutes away from the Munich airport, which is one of Germany's big international airports. And it sits like a castle overlooking, the city of Freising. That's where it is. And that's because the brewery is from the year 1040.
Oh my goodness.
So there's a lot of, and it's the world's oldest brewery, right?
The year 1040 is when this was placed.
In the year 1040, it was created. And it was owned over the years by always some right now it's still owned by the state of Bavaria, so it's actually a government-run brewery, but they operated like a good for-profit business, and but there are many nuances to that brewery in particular which are really unique, and so Weihenstephan is, even for German standards, a very traditional and a very special type of beer. So we're very honored that they are supporting us. The way they're supporting us, and we can offer it at Oktoberfest Goodyear as well.
I got to give you guys credit because you guys take your beer seriously in Germany. Because doing a little bit of prep of this, I was learning about Oktoberfest and how it really is a Munich-centric event. Yeah. And that there are rules about the beers, or you can't have a beer tent unless your beer is brewed within the Munich city limits. And then I also came across that there is a beer police squad at Oktoberfest called the Association Against Fraudulent Pouring, who is making sure that every beer is filled up all the way to the point.
No, I mean, it's serious.
It's Germany, right?
Yes.
It's still Germany. So we like rules, and I love that there's a beer rule about that. So.
Yeah. I mean, just such a fancy sounding name. The Association Against Fraudulent Pouring. That's a group I can get behind right there.
Maybe at the Goodyear event, no?
Well, Toby and I are going to take care of it ourselves.
Logistically, I mean, you guys are going to Germany, tasting the beer that's going to be out here at the Goodyear Oktoberfest. I know you guys are also going to have authentic food available. You guys are going to have live music. Logistically, what is this like to plan this event in Goodyear when so much of the stuff you're bringing is halfway across the world?
Well, Toby and I were not only tasting or sampling the beer, we're also sampling the soft pretzels right now to make sure they're authentic.
That they're soft enough.
And they can't be too sweet. Sometimes they have a bit of a sweet spin to them. That's right. So we have to make sure that they're sort of as authentic as possible. But there's a lot that goes into pulling it together. I mean, of course, I think working with Weihenstephan through the distributor, that's a big help, and they have a good support team here in the United States, and the catering company that provides the food. We've been working with them for a long time as well, right? I mean, certainly in 2019, probably also.
So wait, you bring the food here as well?
Probably not. I mean, with the pretzels, I'm still on the fence. We may have to look into where we get, because we want to keep it as authentic as possible. So sometimes we have to go the extra mile. But at the end of the day, we try to go through to the importers to make sure that, and especially this year with the tariff situation, it hasn't made it like super easy to get a hold of some of these items. I mean, the challenges are real also for the people exporting the beer, right? I mean, they have to go through all these channels, but we'll make it work this year and for the next years to come, of course. But and then on the local side, of course, we have a person helping us with pulling together the nuts and bolts of the events, like furniture rentals, making sure the audiovisual equipment is there. We're actually also flying in an authentic Oktoberfest band from Germany. It's 13 people.
Yeah.
So we just booked their flight tickets 2 weeks ago, and they're
traditional German music.
Well, everything actually. So this is the band that we had prior COVID, and it's a young group, and they play very traditional music, but also like modern hits. So they have a good variety, and I think this is exactly what people like. Initially starting off with some German traditional Umtata music before we actually continue the evening and go into some more modern music that people can actually dance to. So I think they're doing an amazing job, and we got very positive feedback when we told people that we bring the band back. And
That's
you can
amazing.
ask your coworker.
Yes.
I bet she would love that.
Yes.
She would love to hear that we bring the band back.
I think the three main ingredients for a good Oktoberfest is definitely the music, the beer, of course, and the food. And if these three things come together, you could almost host it, anywhere. I think we have a wonderful location at the Luxair hangars, sort of close to the flight line, so it opens up to the flight line. So there's a beautiful view of the runway as well, and it's a great location to have the Oktoberfest. But otherwise, the other three main ingredients, if you get that right, then the Oktoberfest is pretty much a success.
And on the food, can you just go into that a little bit further? Like, what kind of food? I'm a big foodie, so what can I expect if I go there?
Yeah, so food menu, what did we have in previous years? I mean, it's going to be basically a copy of what we had in previous.
It's going to be definitely some pretzels with the food. I think we had red cabbage. We had some sort of pork tenderloin, something like that, right?
Pork roast,
We had some bratwurst, which is a sausage, German potato salad, stuff like that. So we try to make it authentic. Strudel. Oh yeah,
we had the strudel.
Delicious.
Right.
Gotta have the dessert.
Yeah.
Gotta have the strudel is a fantastic dessert, and also we're maybe looking at rotisserie chicken. I mean, we have to see what we choose, and maybe we're gonna alternate between this year we're gonna do some items, and next year we're gonna change up the items. But it's gonna be authentic German food, so everybody will be able to enjoy it.
So when you're talking about sourcing all of these components to it, let's talk about the beer, because that is coming from Germany.
Yes.
Can you give us a ballpark? Like, how many kegs or how much cases are you guys actually bringing to Goodyear?
3 liters per person.
Yeah, we calculate with 3 liters per person.
So what is that in gallons? It's like 0.8
Oh,
gallons
wow.
per
Yeah,
person.
something
Per
like
person?
Per person,
Yeah,
like
So nearly
one
2
day.
milk jugs per person.
This is the average
So-
that we
so-
had in the previous years.
3 of these guys, and I mean, I think the standard is to work on a glass. Takes you about 20 to 40 minutes, right, to work on a glass.
20 to 40 minutes for like one of these.
I like the
Sometimes-
way you phrase
wow.
that, to work on it. Because
Yeah.
it's not just pick it up, you got to work through it. Yeah.
It's like a meal.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it really is.
We have alternatives. So we also have the option of non-alcoholic beer. Weinstefana provides non-alcoholic beer the first time. We haven't had this in previous years, but we had some people asking for non-alcoholic beer, and there will be a good variety of different beers. Also, we're going to have a wine tent where people can drink wine if they don't like beer. So
That's where I'll be.
yeah, okay.
And they told me they're going to have water too.
No,
Yeah.
this is new.
There's
No water allowed.
This is brand new. Yeah.
So while we're on the topic of beer and beer steins, I have a little bit of beer stein trivia for you guys. Are you ready?
Okay,
Yeah.
let's do it.
This is going to be fun. Okay. So the word stein in beer stein, do we know where that comes from?
I do, because I was doing some research.
So it's not. I mean, in Germany, I'd never heard the term Stein before. So this has to. I mean, have you?
I would think that this is the traditional way. This is now a glass mug, but I think that the traditional way was probably that you pour it into some sort of a stein, which is stone in Germany, and this is Just a
Yes.
guess.
Yeah, no.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you get an A. Yeah, the German word, tell me I'm probably going to say this wrong, right? Steinkrug?
Steinkrug.
Steinkrug.
Yeah, that was
of course.
very good.
Meaning
good, yeah.
stone mug,
Yeah.
right? Does that
Yes.
sound right? Okay, all right. Yeah, early versions
where
were, I
that's-
guess, were made of stone back in the day.
I mean, you still see them like when they're like of porcelain, maybe more like they
Yeah.
get that gray stony kind of look.
Yeah.
You see
I
it.
can't
that
imagine how
shows-
heavy that would have been.
That shows my ignorance because I would have bet bottom dollar. These are Steins, right? I mean,
Yeah.
as an American, these
They're
give me a giant mug.
Steinkrug.
Oh yeah,
Stein-
Sure.
Exactly. Very good.
Steinkrug. Say,
Yeah.
we got to work on that.
I'll just
Okay.
keep calling them Steins.
Number 2 question. Back in the old days, they had lids on the top that you could flip and it would open and close.
Yeah.
Why did they have lids on the Steins?
Maybe they didn't want something to get into the beer. I would
That's
assume.
what I'm thinking.
I think they're concerned about.
Disease,
Yeah.
bacteria.
You're right. Back when there were plagues going around and they were worried that the infected flies would land in the beer and then get you sick. So they had flaps on the top, lids.
It also just looks way cooler when you have a lid like that. Yeah.
And I mean, interestingly, they started brewing beer because the water back then was not safe to drink.
Yeah.
So making beer out of the water was a way to make it actually drink.
Interesting.
No, it was not out of because it was out of pure necessity.
It was out of necessity. Yeah.
Yeah, so they used it and they would just drink that instead of water because it was safe, and it was sanitized water in a way. I mean, I guess they were always a little bit. So I mean, I think
And
that's
here we are.
Here we are, right?
Okay, number 3. Steins used to include what hidden component? Something hidden
component.
with the beer steins.
Inside the can
Yes,
were you able to
inside.
take it out, or was it just
Did you-
incorporated in the stein itself?
Okay, here's the answer. There used to be sayings or proverbs inside the rim that would be revealed, but only as you would drink the beer.
I think that's a very
that's
smart
clever.
thing. Yeah, I like that.
Those are very good questions.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, here's my last one. This one's really fun. What do you think is the Guinness World Record for the most beer steins carried over 40 meters? Now, keep in mind that's about the length, a little bit longer than a basketball court. So how many beer steins could be carried
By one person.
across that direction by one person?
Say 30.
I would have guessed 40, but
Okay.
I've
probably
seen those videos where it's almost impossible.
that
the way
looks
they have them all
impossible.
stacked
At
up.
the
Yeah.
Oktoberfest, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
wild.
Okay, I'm going to give you the answer, but I'm going to also show you guys as well. I'm going to we'll also end up showing our listeners. So let's see.
Yeah, he's definitely.
It looks like
20
a real forearm workout.
Yeah.
26 at a time was the Guinness
close.
World Record, okay? And it's a guy named Michael Sturm. This was in Brazil in 2017.
Very nice. We should hire him.
We should have this contest at the Oktoberfest.
yeah.
Oh my
You
god.
should.
Yeah.
So I didn't know this. Each stein is up to a liter in this contest, weighs about 5 pounds each with the beer in there. So think about that, 26, 5 pounds each. That's like 130 pounds. And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't spill any more than 10% of the beer.
No, otherwise
to
the
actually
German
win.
beer police is gonna.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're all over that.
Yeah.
They're just eagle-eyed looking for that.
Yeah.
So that was great, and it's fascinating this this event, this history, because a lot of times when events that are not born in America, we kind of take them. I think Cinco de Mayo, I think
Yeah.
Oktoberfest.
Yeah.
When you guys see American Oktoberfests, and maybe you guys personally, but maybe just Germans in general, are you guys kind of like, those guys, they don't know what they're doing? Or is there an appreciation for that culture being spread? What kind of is your guys' feelings about the American version of Oktoberfest?
I like the idea behind that. It's an Oktoberfest. An Oktoberfest, like David said, it's about beer, it's about food, and it's about coming together as a group and having a good time. So it doesn't really matter if it's like super authentic at the Oktoberfest in Munich, or we try to make it as authentic as possible here in Goodyear, or if you have the Americanized version, as long as there's beer, food, and good company, it's good.
Yeah.
And so that's the answer for a successful event in your mind. So
Yeah.
when people come out to Goodyear's version of Oktoberfest at the airport, like what do you want them to really appreciate in the moment as they come there?
The beer.
Okay.
Yeah. The good company.
You guys are making this really difficult, man. This seems so simple. Yeah.
I mean, but honestly, I think to me, a big purpose, especially in these times right now, is to celebrate the German-American friendship and to embrace that. And it is the Oktoberfest, and that's just because we're German, so that's what we tend to organize, right? But at the end of the day, it's bringing the community and the friends together and celebrating, the very long-standing German-American friendship, and that's to me something that people should feel and should sense when they get to the event and just have a good time, whether they drink beer or not, or whether the vibe is going to be there, and it has been amazing over all these years, and that's what we're trying to bring back this year.
And the history that goes back so far. I mean,
yes.
So I think sometimes when we go to these events, we think of just what's in front of us, the food, the beer, the dancing, the good time in the moment. But there's so much more than the entertainment factor when you think about that relationship that's gone back years.
Yes,
and there's one more thing that we haven't even mentioned yet. Besides the friendship, it is a fundraiser, right? So we raise funds. We've done this in the past. All of the proceeds were donated to a local to the local community here in Goodyear. Mainly New Life Center, which is an amazing cause, I think.
Yeah.
And this year we had to go just a slightly different route, just to start the Oktoberfest again. And everything is under Lufthansa Help Alliance.
Yeah.
They are basically sponsoring the event initially, but all of the proceeds will be basically donated to them for a good cause. So I think it is also a great thing. Just, you go to the Oktoberfest, you're going to have a good time, but also you do something good for the community.
Yeah, so it's totally not for-profit event. We raise money for a good cause, for Help Alliance Americas, which is a 501c3 organization. So, and that's a really, really important aspect as well.
Well, thank you guys so much for sharing a little bit about this. This event, the last time it was held, I think is before a lot of people, even some of our residents, as our population has grown, they probably never knew this event existed. And now, for those who do remember it, to see it coming back, it's such a great time to have Goodyear Oktoberfest back at the Goodyear Airport.
And it almost feels like the closest thing for us to the actual Oktoberfest in Munich. I mean, we have two experts here who you've probably been to the real thing, right?
We go every year.
We go every year.
Yeah.
I think you're flying tomorrow.
I'm flying tomorrow, and I'm going to stay until October 3rd, and then I have my table at the Oktoberfest.
And you just convinced me when we were waiting downstairs that I'm going to be flying over there next week as well to join the Oktoberfest.
So if there's two guys you want helping to coordinate our Oktoberfest, it's probably both of you. So we're excited about it.
Well, it's so exciting. It's so great to have this event back in the city. Thank you guys so much for taking the time and joining us. And thank you for being our first guest on our very first episode of Inside Goodyear.
And how do you say cheers in German?
Prost.
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 Prost. Prost, yeah.
Prost.
Yeah.
I don't think we can do better than that.
Yeah, right.
Thanks for watching Inside Goodyear.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.